Holy crap! Oh my god! I'm wet everywhere.
G'day to all adventurers and welcome back for more action right here in the high country as we explore this beautiful area on our dirt bikes. Now this is part 3 of the adventure so far, so if you haven't seen the previous episodes, jump back and check them out to see how we got to where we are right now. But today would see us leaving the small town of Dargo and heading to the east towards a beautiful bush camp along the Timbarra River, just outside of the town of Buchan. With no camping gear to pack up for the morning, it was easy to get things sorted. A quick check over of the bikes, throw in some fuel, a quick brekkie at the Dargo store, and we're ready to hit the tracks. Now the first 2 days of the adventure had turned into pretty big days on the bikes. So today we hope to get to camp a little bit earlier to relax, enjoy a few drinks around camp and a nice cook up by the fire. So the morning was mostly made up of easy maintained dirt roads just to get some kilometres knocked over nice and early. After getting some of those easier maintained tracks knocked over in the morning, we finally made it to the turn-off to a more technical trail for the day, the Haunted Stream Track. Now the Haunted Stream Track has 54 water crossings to tackle along the way, so if you aren't confident at water crossings, I guarantee that you will be by the time you finish this track. The Haunted Stream Track name comes from a suspected murder of a local man in the 1800s who went on a trip with his mate out here and he never returned. Although his mate returned with a large amount of money and some of the missing man's belongings. So if any of you see me with my own KTM 690 after this, I swear that Bryce just went missing.
Can't wait to get onto this Haunted Stream Track. It was so fun last year. Hopefully it's just as good as I remember. Crosses the creek a lot of times. I can't remember exactly how many. Maybe 30, 20, 30, something like that. Once you just let it get away from you, it just keeps on going. Very good. This part's a little bit hairier. There's no rock to slow you down. I'm on a bike that weighs 100 kilo, 110. There's nothing on it pretty much, and I'm still just along for the ride. Holy dooly. Brandon's done him. Steeper than I remember. I did it up last time, so the tractor, yeah. I'm losing the puffer jacket now. Right on, mate. Too easy, eh?
That wasn't too bad.
No, that's alright. A few spots where you were just along for the ride.
Oh, no, actually it wasn't sliding too much, I think.
No, I felt like I was sliding everywhere. Maybe I was just locking the brake up too much. Alright, the Haunted Stream Track. We just had a look at one of the streams back there, which we don't go across. I swear from memory from last time I was here it looked deeper, so we might be in for an interesting ride along here. But let's see how we go. You picked a better line than me.
I can see the rocks on the right.
I hit a rock in the middle and sent me that way. If you've never done a water crossing before, come into this track and maybe you'll be half good at them at the end. We'll see how I go at the end, see if I can make it out with no issues. I do remember one water crossing last year that I didn't have too bad of a problem, but it had big rocks in it. I got stuck a little bit, but I can't remember if it was on this track or not. Holy crap! Oh my god! I'm wet everywhere. Oh, I thought I was going down then. That was deeper than I thought. Whew. Mate, you should have seen me. I ended up the side of the cliff here.
That's a bit deep, that one.
Yeah, it's deeper. I wasn't expecting it to be deep.
Oh, I've got a wet boot now.
Well done.
So the boys and I were having a blast smashing through these crossings. Most of them were really easy, nice and shallow and pretty smooth as well, but every now and then we'd come across one that we thought we'd better take a closer look at before diving right on in. I'd rather spend a few extra minutes taking a closer look to avoid the next hour being spent fixing a drowned bike.
Don't go that side. This side's shallower here. Just don't go too far because there's a rock here, but it's not too deep there. Now I've just muddied it all up. Just always hard to tell when they're so clear like that. But now I've muddied it. It'll be right. It's not too deep that I shouldn't be able to touch, so. Got this, Brandon. It looks worse than what it actually is. Easy. From back at the start it looked like there was some big logs going across the middle I had to go look at, but there was nothing there. You're all good, Brycey. Yes. Well done, boys.
Hold on, go for a ride. Right, go on, you can actually see the rocks.
Yeah.
They're pretty flat, so it wasn't too bad.
Oh, it looked worse than what it is, but
Yeah, I know.
still deep enough to worry if you had an issue, so better off to check it, eh? The right hand side looked a fair bit deeper though. Happy days. told myself I'd count the crossings. I haven't counted the crossings. Maybe a video of them all. How good. Such a cool track. Not too fatiguing, but it's a bit of a challenge with all these crossings. It's only like that.
I don't quite know how many water crossings we had done up to this point here, but the boys and I were keeping a pretty decent pace, taking turns at leading the way and being the first to test the depth of each crossing as they come, getting more confident along the way as well. It was such a fun track. Just as you turn each corner, bam, there's another water crossing just waiting for you. We were on our way towards some more open country, but looking at the map I could see we still had a few more crossings to negotiate before the haunted stream track would be behind us. Let's get out of here with no drowned bikes, alright fellas?
I might have to have a look here. Looks like going down a waterfall. Well, my feet are already wet, so it's not that deep. There's just a few rocks there. I don't know, might be better just skirting around here. I'll just keep momentum up because they feel a bit slippery. Not too bad. Easy boys. Down, down, down to the creek. Oh, it's so clear. I wasn't sure how that was going to go then. They're so deceiving when they're crystal clear waters like that. Hang on to it.
Bird full of water.
Hey?
Bird full of water.
Fella. Trying to get away. Around the back. The other boys won't be able to see him now. Lace monitor. Go, Brycey, go. Yes. I think it's the last one, I think.
So we'd done it. We made it through the haunted stream track unscathed, and no one went missing either, which was nice. But once we got to some more open country, the boys and I took the chance to have a quick lunch stop on the side of the tracks before we got into some more unknowns for the afternoon. Now, I'd adjusted today's route overnight slightly, so some of this afternoon's riding we would just be winging it and making it up as we go. But not long after our lunch stop, we headed through some farmlands, and the route that I had lined up for the day brought us to a gate that obviously doesn't get used much and was obviously now private property. But after checking the maps quickly, we found a workaround track that was a little bit further in distance, but it should eventually link up to the way that we want to go. Now, I didn't bring my fuel bladder along for today's ride, so we pretty much have to find a way through here somehow so I can make it.
It all says it's a road and there's no sign saying you can't go in here. Maybe it just doesn't get used very often. But just up in the base of the hills there, it turns into Somerville track and eventually joins up with Fainting Range track, which I know I've done. So if we can get to that, then I know we're on something. Oh, there's even a sign, white post thing there. So it must be a road. Which one you reckon?
Hey?
Which one you reckon? On the map they both get us through eventually, but I'm like, do we just go up or? We're just contemplating should we go up here or take the other track, but it's a steep, but it's not as boggy as yesterday's tracks. We were just concerned because it looks like it's been freshly graded. That's alright. Soft, but enough grip there. Oh, this is actually an epic little climb. Holy dooly. Sounds like he's doing alright. Thought I'd just wait and see. Is that alright for you?
Yeah.
Wow. This is a fun track. Oh, found the dozer. I'll wait here because I did just come up a bit of a boggy bit, just in case the boys have any issues, but I don't think they will. Yeah, there's been a few tracks that have been just done not long ago.
And they're not near each other. Like the one we passed today floating in.
Yeah.
Too soft.
We're getting closer to back on the same route. Been here before, fainting range track. But they've since graded it. It wasn't this open last time. Still got another, about 43 k's to get to camp. I'll admit I got a bit of fuel anxiety. So I only had the 9 litre tank topped up, and I took a 600 milliliter bottle as well that I've already poured in. In my head I was like, oh, 1 bottle 1 litre, but I'm like, oh wait, it's only 600 mil, so we had to do 150 k's today, but then that little detour around I think might have added a couple, so I thought about looking at the fuel, but then I'm like, what's the point, because I don't have any more unless I steal it from the boys somehow. But fingers crossed the old Vader get me there. I've been trying to ride somewhat economical.
So the rest of the tracks for the day were set to be maintained dirt roads or easy twin track trails. So it was a bit ironic that the most technical part we had to do was this little section before a concrete bridge. Now obviously the river level has come up and washed away this section of road at some point, but no worries for us. I think Brandon and Bryce are council workers stuck in adventure riders' bodies, because the boys got to work and fixed the road up so we could get through here nice and easy.
Oh bro, that's a road! That's a road!
Now we ended up knocking over the last 20 kilometres for the day pretty quickly and arrived at our amazing camp spot for the night, where Leroy and Jess had already got stuck into setting everything up. Now the spot was amazing, right on the Timbarra River. But once we were all set up, Bryce and I decided to head down to the river for a swim and freshen up after the day of riding. And let me tell you, we might as well have been jumping into an ice bath, because the water coming down from the snowy mountains was absolutely ice cold. But after another awesome day of high country riding, we were so happy to have a setup like this where we could kick back and relax. We got the fire going, started to try and dry our boots out after the day with all those water crossings. We had an awesome cook up around the fire before crashing out and getting ready to do all of this again tomorrow. Coming up in part 4 of this Australian high country adventure, the fun continues as we make our final run back to Jindabyne. We come across another hill climb that puts us all to the test once again. We lend a hand to a struggling traveller, and we get to another awesome high country lookout, my favourite from the trip. So be sure to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on any of that action to come. Thanks so much as always for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please like the video. It helps the channel massively, and I appreciate all of the support. Also be sure to check out the links below to get the GPX files from this ride, as well as support the channel in other ways, and to support the brands that support the channel as well. Make sure you ride safe on your own two-wheel adventures, and I'll see you all soon again here in the high country.